Was 1997 the greatest year in hip-hop history? It's your man, J-Rod here. And 1997 was one of the most important, tragic, greatest years in hip-hop history. Now, I'm not going to hold you. 1997 belonged to Biggie. B.I.G., the notorious Biggie Smalls. Life After Death, a classic album, was released after he passed away, unfortunately. But he recorded those new songs, and it got some classic joints on there. Beef, Somebody's Gotta Die Tonight, Sky's the Limit, One More oh my God, the album was amazing. And within that album, we learned Biggie was either the greatest or the next to the greatest. Now, I'm a Pac guy. I'm going to say Pac is the greatest. But Biggie was there. You know what I'm saying? The wordplay that Biggie had was ahead of his time. No doubt. And Biggie had the flow. And at that time, it was no doubt Biggie was the new king of New York. Jay-Z wasn't who Jay-Z is now. Nas, actually, Nas could debate. But I think New York was more behind Biggie. But I probably would have went with Nas. But, I'm not from New York. New York was riding with Biggie. That was their guy. And the potential that Biggie had, man. Biggie was going to go on and do some great things. And unfortunately, we only got 2 albums from Biggie. That's the worst thing about everything. Only got 2 albums. And both of them were classic. Both of them was electrifying. Both of them were ahead of their time. But 1997 undoubtedly was Biggie's year at number 1. Now, also in 1997, Puff Daddy dropped No Way Out. And he had a lot of superstars on that album. Jadakiss, Styles P, Lil' Kim. Unfortunately, that album came after Biggie passed. And, Biggie wanted Puff to, do more rapping. And Puff did that. And he made a classic album with No Way Out. All About the Benjamins, Missing You. I mean, a classic album. And now we clown Diddy now. But at one point in time, Diddy was unstoppable. He knew how to make hit records. He can't make a hit record now, but at one time, everything Diddy did was a hit. Around the World. Him and Mace. You feel me? Him and Mace. Puff dropped hits from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Mace do it for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? They had hits, man. Feel good music. Amazing time. And one thing I will give Diddy that is kind of an underrated, underrated thing that he does have. He can flow. He's not. We know Diddy does not write his rap, so I ain't even gonna go there. But Diddy can flow, and that is a gift. To be able to flow is a gift. And Diddy had a very nice flow. Diddy had a very smooth flow in '97. You know what I'm saying? Like, No Way Out was a good album. Say what you want to say. We clown Diddy now, but No Way Out was a classic. Also in 1997, let me say this. Let me go ahead and put this out. 97 was the year of Bad Boy. No doubt. 97 was Bad Boy's year. Also in 97, Mace dropped Harlem World. Feels so good. You know what I'm saying? Mace was dropping hits. You know what I'm saying? Mace was fabulous. Mace was Ja Rule. Mace made the hits before. Mace made the hit for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Smooth, good looking guy. Flow phenomenal. Mace has one of the smoothest flows in hip hop history. No doubt. Mace is one of the smoothest flowers ever in hip hop history. And Harlem World was a good album. I wouldn't say it's a classic for the 90s. It's a 90s classic, but is it an overall classic? I wouldn't say it's an overall classic, but it's a great album. Feel so good on that album. I think as Around the World is on that album. I'm not mistaken. I hope, I'll check that again. But Around the World, it was so many good songs on that album. It was a dope album, man. Looking at Me, you know what I'm saying? It was a great album. It was a fly album. But unfortunately, we know after this album, Mace retired for a while, went to go be a pastor for a while, stopped being a pastor, became a gangster rapper again, all this type of stuff. Now he doing shows. Wild run. Now, also in 1997, the South was coming. Even though the game was still dominated by the East Coast and the West Coast, and at this time, the East Coast really had their hand on the game. But the South was coming, and our guy in the South was Master P. And he dropped one of his best albums, Ghetto D. Master P was dropping movies. Master P was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that this happened in 97 while, you know, everything was going on with Big. But Master P did a lot of legendary things in 97. Now, first of all, he had the movies going. He had Last Dawn is 98, but that was being shot. And he had his biggest hit. The video was shot in 98, but the song came out in 97. Make them say, you know what I'm saying? That was a hit. And another one, a ghetto hit that we love in the South. Missing My Homies. Woo! That is a classic. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see the OGs still bang that to this day. And he was making No Limit a legendary label. Also in 97, the emergence, in my opinion, of the greatest female rapper of all time, Missy Elliott. Woo! She dropped her debut album, Super Duper Fly. And she changed the game for music videos. She took it to the next level. I mean, the garbage bag suit she had on, the crazy, like, glasses she wore, the makeup she chose. I mean, Missy did her thing. You know what I'm saying? On my window, I can't stand the rain. You know what I'm saying? Missy, in my opinion, you know, people, they try to throw Nicki up there. In my opinion, Nicki is not the greatest female rapper of all time. No way possible. It's definitely Missy Elliott. I mean, she changed music videos, and she's the greatest music video artist of all time. I mean, I know Busta Rhymes might have a claim. I'm sure Luda might feel away. Eminem might feel away. But man, Missy Elliott has the greatest music videos of all time. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Hot Boys, you know what I'm saying? She did her thing, man. Missy in the late 90s, her videos were futuristic, and it still hasn't been topped to this day. We in 2023. 2024 won't top it. You know what I'm saying? Missy was a trendsetter. I mean, and the thing with Missy was, she didn't sexualize herself. Now, she made some sexy songs, you know, Get Your Freak On. That came later, but she wanted her talent to be seen. And that's what we seen. I feel like Nicki, the Little Kims, the whoever you like, they sexualization might overcome their talent. Missy is the greatest female rapper purely off of talent. Now, also in 1997, wasn't his best album, but it was a good album. Jay-Z, In My Lifetime. Now, it wasn't the best album. Biggie was doing his thing. It wasn't Jay time yet. But Jay had a couple good songs. You know, City Is Mine is one of my favorite Jay-Z songs of all time. You know, Streets Is Watching was fire. And You Gotta Love Me was a fire song about his mama. Jay had some fire in the 90s.